So he's gone up. Now, please, anyone that has questions, we are going to take questions at the, after all the presenters have made their submissions. Please just be aware that that's the way we are going to handle this evening. Let me, on this note, bring in the chief, or rather, Obueshi, Comrade, the only Comrade Obueshi. Can you quickly come and make your presentation? That is Comrade Deli Ajufo, Coordinator, Anyoma Redemption Group. Comrade, are you able to do that?
I think I've unmuted myself, actually. Okay, and I hope you can hear me. There was once we met one of your programs. I kept asking the same question. Do we really want to remain an entity? Do we want to remain one country? And if we do, on what basis? I think privately I sent you a video, which I had hoped you would air on this program, but for some considerations, you declined, and I can understand that. But let me say that I was born in the North. And in 1954, I recall an interview from a BBC journalist with Sir Ahmadu Bello. He disparaged Igbos to no end. He actually introduced what they call Northernization program, whereby any Nigerian who is not a Northerner would be fired from any Northern institution. That was pre-independence, any Northern institution, and they would prefer to hire a foreigner. And he averred further that in the event there was no foreigner, any Southern Nigerian who would be employed on contract basis. That was in 1954. A year after there was a riot in Kano between the North, well, mainly Hausa Fulanis then, and Ndibo. I was a victim of the same riot in Jos. I was in primary school. We had to run to the hills to hide from the assailants who were Fulanis. Then in 1957, after the conference in London for independence, I recall Tafawa Balewa saying that he was vehemently against this independence because there was no basis for unity or union between the North and South. His words, all these Southerners swarming all over the North, we don't want them. We have nothing in common. What I'm trying to say is there has been this consistent hatred between, well, on the part of the North for the South. Then, after independence, just a week or two after independence, the same Sir Ahmadu Bello went on air and was interviewed by the Parrot newspaper. I don't know how many of us recall his statement, that this new nation called Nigeria should be an extension of the estate of their great-grandfather Othman Dan Fodio. They shall ruthlessly prevent a transfer of power to the South. They shall use the Middle Belt as willing tools and prevent the South from control of their lives. I paraphrased it. What is happening now? We don't own our lives in the South. We can't go to farms. We can't travel between Lagos and Delta and the East. If we must remain the same, I align with Dr. Dom Pedro Obaseki that rogue constitution must be brought down. I listened to an interview where somebody said, if you want the constitution brought down, you must go to the National Assembly. The National Assembly is a fraudulent establishment as well, because it's based on the same fraudulent constitution. So there must be a way of bringing it down. And it has been manifested, it has been declared by many how it can be done. We are not afraid of facing the Fulanis. They tried this thing in Central African Republic, where they constitute 6% of the population. And when they had opportunity, they enthroned Fulanis in all the sensitive positions, just like Buhari has done. Buhari is very aware of what he's doing in Nigeria. Let nobody make excuses for him. In 2011, he said if he had his way, he will turn Nigeria into an Islamic state. It's there on tape. So for solution, we have to begin to discuss the issue of bringing down the constitution. But we have inconsistent people, particularly in the South. particularly in the Southeast, where people there don't know whether they are Igbos or Hausa Igbos or whatever, where somebody will wake up and say, I'm going to pay 100 million naira for any cow killed in the South, in my constituency, and yet you have not addressed the issue of damaged crops in your farm or the farms of your constituents. We have to have people who have knowledge of the feelings of their people. Today, we are extolling Governor Otom. If they call a meeting of northern governors, he will attend tomorrow. Therein lies our problem. Where does he belong? Himself, Darius, Lalong, the people in Niger, Bello in Kogi, they are suffering the same fate we are suffering in the South. But when they call a meeting of northern governors, they attend. Who shall tell the president the truth? We are here talking. He's aware of what we are saying here. Don't deceive yourself. So we have to bring down the constitution. That's one. I take you back to the issue because we are facing serious existential problems today. We are being reminded by Sir Edward Grey, the foreign minister of Great Britain in 1914, principally the 3rd of August, when he said, this lamp shall go out and we don't know how many of us will see it when it's turned on. The drums of war has been sound everywhere. We don't want war in Nigeria. But now we are having warlords. The Eastern Security Network is there. Amoteco is there. We have Egbesu drumming up. Atentio in Middle Belt is warming up. Where will it end? The hegemony, arrogance of the Fulani must be checked. And until we do that, we're not going anywhere. I'll stop there. I know I'll have opportunity to talk again and maybe answer some questions. But we must stop this hubristic hegemony of the Fulanis. Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade there. Yes, we will come back to when we take questions and when, if questions are directed at you, or when we give the closing remarks, then you have the opportunity to make further interventions. Now, in summary, what you basically have said is that, we need to ask ourselves the fundamental question: if we want to be part of this federation or this union, if yes, how? You further went down to say that, in order to make progress, we must, and you agreed with Dr. Don Pedro Obaseki, bring down the Constitution if Absolutely. We want to make progress. Thank you very much for that intervention. On that note,